to join me on this adventure called Boss Billionaire's Vlog. Or blog. I don't know. I like blog because then it's BBB, but it's a vlog, it's a video log. And, you know, it's nice to be precise sometimes. In any case, I had an interesting adventure earlier today. I found that my cash reserves were not where they should have been through a series of both fortunate and unfortunate events of the last week. But what made me laugh was I decided to DoorDash. I'm thinking, okay, I got to try to get some sort of funds in, and I know I can get this more immediately. So this morning, I was going to DoorDash, and I thought, the thought just popped into my mind. How can I feel better? And then I thought, you know what? How would I feel about this if I was a billionaire? And that made me laugh because I had up to that point, I was still thinking about billionaire stuff, but I forgot that I was doing this vlog. And that was kind of delightful in its own thing, but I was like, then I thought, how would I feel? That's a great Abraham kind of question. Like, how would I feel about these life challenges if I was a billionaire? And I kid you not, I probably spent a good 5 minutes trying to think about it from the now space of but I don't have any money, so how would a billionaire feel about not having any money? And then I saw I door dashed by this stretch Hummer limo, and it reminded me of my youngest son, especially, both my boys, but my youngest son especially, because he has one in a game, and he was all excited about it. And then it dawned on me, and I said, you know what? Yes, Spirit. When I feel like a billionaire, which is in this moment, I would love to have one of those things just to make my boys smile. Right? I'd have more than enough to give to charity, to help all my friends, to repay everyone who's helped me out, and that would feel amazing. And then I got to thinking, well, then how would a billionaire end up in a situation where she's got hardly any gas and is trying to DoorDash for some? And I still don't fully have an answer for that. That's what I kind of like, though, is when I feel like a billionaire in this moment, I don't feel like there's any challenge with money. And that was kind of what is it, the genius epiphany sort of thing. It's that's right. And isn't that what Abraham and Tony Robbins and Eckhart Tolle and Sadhguru and all these fancy gurus teach, is when you can feel like you already have what you want, then the universe will change things around you and bring it to you or line you with that timeline so you can get there, right? And that just felt good even in that moment. Mostly because I've manifested other things by doing that. And this is an even more exciting one. And I think I'll do a different vlog about it, but it's not a need. I don't need to be a billionaire. This is for fun. And it's for the interest in experimenting and seeing how it goes. And it's not for lack. I'm not doing it because I always infinitely need money. I still have ups and downs in it, but goodness sakes, I just manifested myself and my kiddo out of homelessness. I'm allowed to have a little bit of a gap in between that and billionairehood, right? In any case, that got me to thinking though, is because right next to that stretch Hummer was a buggy, like a dune buggy vehicle that you could ride around. And I thought, yes, I would have one of those too. I would have at least three of those, probably four, because it'd be me, my two boys, and then whoever a guest is that wants to go with us. Maybe even five, because these days my kiddos might each have a friend to bring with them or something, or maybe my DM might decide. I wanted to say to get off his high horse was not really a high horse. It's kind of a low horse, but that's a thing for another time. But you know what? I did think about that too. And I think for those of you that also follow me for some twin flame stuff, you might appreciate that too. Is reframe your thinking about whatever problem it is. Okay, when it was the gas in the tank thing, or the phone bill, or the part for my car, when I ask myself, how would I feel about this if I was a billionaire? And then the answer that came to my head is the only reason that there'd be any lack of money or parts or anything is if there was some sort of a tech problem. If I'm a billionaire, that would be the only thing in my mind. There's nothing else that could do it. I feel worthy of safe, easy flowing money that is easily accessible. So if it was a situation to where I had mostly access to my phone and stuff and it still worked, but then the cards didn't or something else like that happened, I would just be that's okay. Like, I could go to my bank and get more, or I'd have enough stuff that I could sell things and get cash, or you know what I mean? Like there wouldn't be any need to borrow or ask around or do anything like that. I would just feel good. I would just feel comfortable and just keep doing things more just to do things, you know what I mean? And then like later I did think about that. Like I thought about current challenges going on between my DM and I, which are mostly co-parenting ones and stuff with the karmic and things like that. And like I thought about it, like, just for fun. Like, I mean, we could still be having the same arguments, but how would I feel about it if I felt like a billionaire while we were having these arguments? You know what I mean? And it actually made the whole scenario really comical because, like, I know that my DM and his karmic, like, they got together purely on materialistic stuff and 3D stuff, and, like, yeah, they entangled and wrapped in limerence and called it love and things like that, but, like, it was mostly materialism, and like they tried to take like carefully laid plans that I had made with my DM that were things that were customized to us and our children, and like the energy of that, and they tried to make that like something, I don't know, very greedy. And like, I mean, I'm a Capricorn. I'm not opposed to investing and whatnot, but I can see by where it's gone at this point in time with said arguments about feeding our youngest son, who is with my DM most of the time, like that it clearly did not go the way that he had hoped it would, or was promised it would, or that they promised each other it would, whatever it is. So like it would be very amusing, and as someone feeling like a billionaire, I would be giggling, sitting there like having conversations about this stuff, knowing that I could easily just hand it over. And it's funny because even right now, like I feel like a billionaire. The money is not materialized in my account yet, though I manage to manifest the money one way or another, and I know that I always can. Like, sometimes it does take a little bit of juggling, but always do it, right? And so like there's been plenty of times that when it's been either called a money issue or it is a money issue with my DM, I'm like, hey, him dinner, let me buy him this thing, let me get him that, or I take care of it when he's with me. Like even if I have to struggle later, I take care of it as best as I can in each of those moments. There's only been a few times I've not been able to meet that right when I said that I would. And like and most of those weren't even like lack on my end. It was various different like things going on around me. And it's like, even those I'm grateful for because they show me how to pivot and adjust and make sure that it's always there. And as a like in feeling like a billionaire, I'm thinking like I wouldn't even have to worry about it like anytime. Like I could get him his own card and then could just be like, hey, Dad, like take me here. I want to eat here and I want to go play here and whatnot. But what would make it more comical is I know my DM. Like if he's not willing to accept various help here and there, being a billionaire, it's funny. It would not help. He'd still be very stubborn about it, but it would also help in the funny sort of way that he'd be very attracted to that. Like, not just like attracted to the money, but just like underdog bootstrapping it on, earning it yourself kind of way up there. And then it would be comical. I know him. Like, he's got a good enough sense of humor that he would be laughing about that too. Like, we're sitting here arguing over the bare necessities when I'm sitting here as a billionaire, and that would be a huge contrast. I was gonna say to how it is, but I'm correcting my language because I'm manifesting right now. So instead of saying how it is, I'm gonna say to how it was, like 30 seconds ago, 30 days ago, 30 months ago, where I have been definitely much more dependent on other people contributing financially. And like, wouldn't that be hilarious? To feel like a billionaire in the same said conversations, like I wouldn't have to worry about getting a lawyer for any sort of court stuff. I'd just be like, yeah, all right, let's talk about this. And I'm sure having that amount of money would likely equal more like, oh, I don't know. It's both fortunate and unfortunate, but money does tend to equal power. So, like, I doubt there would be nearly as much resistance to much of anything, and that would feel great. And, the fun thing is like, when you get into manifesting bigger things, that's where the key is to recognize what is it that you want to feel that you think you can only have when you have said big thing, right? Whether it's a relationship or billions of dollars or new car or great career or whatever thing. Like, what is it that you think that you will feel in the having of it? That's something that Abraham definitely talks about. And, like, that's what I think about. Like, how would I feel as a billionaire that feels like I can't have it right now? Like, there would be far less resistance. Everything would be easier and easy to access. I wouldn't, like, I do enjoy working a lot, but I would not have to work like 3 jobs, you know, sometimes 4, depending on the week and everything else going on. I would be able to easily, like, have things shipped right away, get to pay the overnight, arrive in the morning shipping. Say a lot. I was gonna say people don't take me seriously, but people already take me seriously, which amazes me a lot of the time. I love y'all though. Like Spirit taught me that lesson of don't take. I'm not taking life that seriously. Like, but still though, like it would be there would be more seriousness to it. You know, there would be far more views on this video if I was a billionaire blog and vlogging about being a billionaire than somebody manifesting being a billionaire from the beginning. But you know what though? That's part of what I love about doing stuff like this and like following my intuition and my heart is like I know it's gonna happen. And it's gonna be one of those really great things to be able to look back and be like, just for fun, I decided to start vlogging about manifesting this and look, now you can see how I did it. Which I didn't expect that to be what happened with the homelessness thing, but it did. And I trust me, that wasn't on, like, if that was on a menu option of, like, timelines I could have chosen, it wouldn't have been my first pick. It wasn't my first pick, but, like, still, it's, it's a reasonable story to say that I was able to overcome and stuff like that. And I'm still overcoming, but still there. So in getting to that, it's like thinking about it, like there'd be free flowing access to things. I could take my kids to the drive-in theater and let them buy whatever they want, the pajamas that are there, the popcorn, the soda, the pizza, and they're like $4.50 refill sodas no matter what one you buy. So like I would be able to just say yes. Have some more. You need to go to the bathroom soon? Yes, have some more. And then the next day I'd be able to provide some healthy food and say, yeah, I know that salty popcorn and pizza and corn dogs really, we should balance those out with some grapes and bananas and spinach and stuff like that. And to be able to have the fresh stuff. And I'd have much more time to thoughtfully plan out and cook meals. I was telling my oldest my plan for making sure that I'm cooking like warm meals for him and or his brother, depending on when he's there, at least 3 days a week. I'm sure I can fit it in there. Like if I've been able to fit in as much work as I've been able to fit in, I can fit in the meals more. Like I already do try to bring them in there, but it's definitely been like focus, focus, focus on certain things, and like I spend a lot of time thinking about what do I have right now that I'm already grateful for. And the boys are always at the top of my list. And I know one of the things that they love is when I cook. So I'm going to make sure that I do that more. And I know that in feeling like a billionaire, I'd be like, what do you want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Because I like cooking. I especially like cooking for them. And I like teaching them to cook. And be like, whatever you want to make. Like, we go to cooking school for things they don't know how to make. But mostly it's just get the ingredients and we can have them anytime. And just letting myself have those feelings. You know what the great thing is about exercises like this? It's very psycho, just in the sense of giving your brain a rest from heavier things. Just let yourself play, let yourself feel like something you want to feel like. You want to feel like you're in love, you want to feel like somebody loves you, like look for those feelings first. You want to feel like you have a new car for that feeling first. What did it feel like? What did it feel like under your hands and in front of you? And what will people say about it? Like, feel like it. Like, I could think, like, what will people say and be like when, as the money comes to me, because I'm already feeling like a billionaire. See how I did that right there? Like, and it'll feel good. It'll feel good in the same way that, like, most of the people that I work for, like, 95% of my work is good. Yeah, I still make mistakes here and there. Sometimes I don't do things exactly the right way, but typically I do. And usually I clean up after myself. Like, I'm typically very reliable and dependable, and like, as long as you've got decent boundaries and clear expectations, you've got a good you've got a good worker, a good friend, a good person, good co-parent, whatever you want in me. And I like that because I know that would continue on in my billionairehood. Like I wouldn't be like, what is it? My oldest and I were talking about like what kind of billionaire would I feel like, and he was talking about Jeff Bezos and how some people see him as like sinister, I guess, and kind of like Doctor Evil from Austin Powers and stuff like that. And I was like, interesting, like and I'm thinking like that's not like that would be fun, but that's not the kind of billionaire that I want to feel like. I want to feel like the kind of billionaire that people look and say, you know what? She totally deserves that. She earned it. And look at all the good she does with it. And look at how much fun she has with her family with that. And look at how much fun these other families get to have because she shares with them, like, and on and on and on and on. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog here. Now it's your turn. Spend some time and feel the way that you want to feel.